Hello everybody, this is Miss Maria from Main Street Arts. I'm glad you could join me again today. Today is National Find a Rainbow Day, so we're going to be doing some images with rainbows today. These are my examples. I did one on white paper, and then I did one on blue paper. So depending on what kind of paper you have at home, if you have some construction paper, you could choose any. You could choose blue, you could choose any color you want. I choose blue because it's kind of like a sky. Or if you just have white paper, we could work with white paper too. So we're going to be doing found object printmaking, which is just like it sounds. We're going to find objects around our house that we could use to make cool shapes on our paper. So I have a mason jar lid that I found. This is the top to a orange juice container. This is like a water bottle top. I also have some Legos. Some different size Legos, and this is a little marker top, stuff like that that's hard and smooth and that will take paint if it's dunked in. I also have my paint, so I chose white. If I choose a dark colored paper, I have white, or I have blue for the light colored. I'm using a paper plate as a palette, some paint brushes, some scissors, if you have a glue stick or Elmer's glue. And then I also have these little pieces of cardboard. It's just a cardboard box I cut up into little strips because we're going to make our rainbow pop up from our paper. And I think that's about it. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to be starting with my blue paper, and I've got my found objects up here. I've got my palette here. I've got some paper towel in case I get messy, and a paintbrush. And I'm going to start with some white paint. Any kind of paint you have is fine. So I'm going to squirt some on my plate. And then I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm going to just smooth that paint out. And so it's a nice, even kind of layer of paint on my palette. And then I'm going to take one of my objects and I'm going to dunk it into the paint. Look at it, make sure it's all covered. And I'm going to press it on my paper. And there you go. Now when I'm done, I'm going to put it back in my paint because it needs more paint on there. And I'm going to press it again. So I'll do that all over my paper, however I want. And every time I do it, I need to go and recharge my object into my paint. And they can even overlap. Fill up your whole page. Okay, now I'm done with that shape. I'm going to set it aside on my paper towel. And I think I'm going to choose maybe the little circle here, the little glue stick top. So I'm going to dunk that in the paint. And that makes little circles. So I'll fill my page. And again, they can overlap. Bring them all the way out to the edge. All right, I'm going to try one of my Lego pieces now. All of this paint that we put on these objects will wash off. So if you get some paint on your Legos, it'll all wash up with some nice soapy water. So I'm gonna take the bumpy end, I'm gonna stick it in my paint. I'm gonna kind of rub it around a little bit to make sure all the bumps get, yep, and as you can see, they're all white. So then I'm gonna press it down on my paper nice and smooth, and there you go. You've got a nice, cool row of dots from your Lego. I'm going to kind of spread these out. Again, they can overlap. So when I'm doing this background, it's going to be the background for my rainbow. So I'm kind of like pretending these are clouds or shapes in the sky. All right, that looks pretty good. And then I'll just do one more. I'll do this little Lego guy. And I'm going to do the flat end and see what shape that gives me. So I'm going to dunk that shape into the paint and I will see. And that's a really cool square with a little circle inside. So I'm going to just add some of that. So as you can see, we have lots of really awesome shapes here. These are just from objects all found around our house. So any other object that you can find around your house to make shapes, go for it. So as you can see, I've just kind of filled my whole page with some white shapes. Now I'm going to show you what you can do with white paper if you don't have colored paper. I'm going to take some blue paint Just a little spot. And so I'm gonna do the same thing with the blue. Or if you have whatever color paint you have laying around, that's the paint you can use. So this is my little water bottle top. Dunk it in the paint. And then I could use my Lego again. And so this is just going to create a cool background for our rainbow picture. So now it's time to design our rainbow. And as you can see, here I did a very traditional rainbow shape, which is beautiful. And then here I did, this is kind of like a squiggle rainbow shape. So you can choose any rainbow shape that you want. So for this you could just take a piece of white paper, and this is where I'm going to use my pencil. And let's see, I think I'm going to do another squiggle shape. So there's my one line, and then I'm going to make it thick, and I'm going to kind of follow it like that, so that way it looks thick. And then I'm going to take, I just found crayons for today. So I've got my red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. But you could have your rainbow be whatever you want. And then you're going to color it in. If you don't want to use crayons, you can use paint. You can use markers, colored pencil, whatever it is that you want to use. So now that we're done with your rainbow, we're going to cut the rainbow out. So you can grab some scissors and cut it out on your own, or if you need help for this part, please get help if you need it. All right, so you're going to finish cutting out your rainbow. And there's my rainbow all finished. And so now what I'm going to do is flip it over, and I'm going to take my cardboard scraps. These are like just little cut out pieces of cardboard, and I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm going to glue them on around the edge. So just like this, all along the edge, I'm going to just glue some cardboard scraps. And this is going to give my rainbow the height to pop out from the page. So all along the edge, I'm going to make sure that they're not hanging off the edge. We want them to be all on the rainbow. Just like that. So now I've got cardboard. Ooh, there's two of them here. I've got cardboard all along the edge. And now what I need to do is put some glue on here on my cardboard. So put some glue all on the cardboard tops. Okay. And then you're going to take your printed paper, set it there. Once it's dry, you're going to figure out where you want. If you want it like this or like this, I think I want it just like that. And I'm going to gently press the rainbow down, and there it is. Okay, so here is my finished rainbow piece. As you can see, it's right where I want it, and if you kind of flip it, you can see that it's popped up off of the page a little bit, and that gives it some nice dimension. And then here is you know, one that you can do an example of it on white paper. So they're both really nice, and they both brighten up your day. So thank you for joining me. It's been fun, and I hope that you enjoyed this project. And please, if you do any of these, post them in our comments or email your images to us, and we'd love to see them. And join me next week. We'll do some Play-Doh fun. Thank you. Bye-bye.